Hello and welcome to everybody that has started Wild Pup Adventures recently. I just wanted to tell all the new clients some of the things that we're working on the first couple sessions, and I want everyone to be aware of this so that you can do the same kind of training with your dog, because if we use all the same tones, timing, and command words, your dog is going to learn things much faster, and you'll be able to use the tools that I use on adventures to keep them safe, and to have great adventures with them yourself. So at the very least, I just want to communicate what I do with dogs and what they're experiencing the first couple of weeks, just for everyone's awareness. Now, everyone's going nuts right now because we are still within the first 45 minutes of our adventure, which is the amount of time that I generally say it takes for them to just burn off their initial energy. So don't mind them, they're gonna be running around like crazy. And there are some new pups that everyone's getting to know. So first off, on the first adventure, what I'm looking for is that the dogs are seeing what this is all about when they come to the pickup, the meeting spots. They are working through any nervousness that they might have at first. They're meeting and greeting their friends. They're seeing what the van is all about. Very likely, because there's a lot of energy in the van, and with all the dogs coming to the van, they might be a little nervous. It's basically like the first day of school, where you're the new kid and you're meeting all these new people and figuring out what the school is like. So I try to have all the dogs that are new come early, arrive about 10 minutes earlier than everyone else, and they get in first. That way they don't have to walk through the craziness of the pack in the van. They can be the first ones, get settled. I usually put them in a seat that is more private, that is like a crate. And so they don't have to be around the craziness of everyone as intensely, but they can be in a more calm area of the van and get used to it. And so then I'm looking at their harness. And I absolutely recommend harnesses rather than collars. The reason for a harness is because in the van, they are attached to certain attachment points using coated wire, crimping devices, and carabiners that are auto lock, made for industrial use. Not exactly climbing, but it's a type that people can use for climbing. The ones I use actually have a 2,000 pound weight capacity each, which is kind of insane. But anyway, the harness is hooked into the attachment points. And so if a dog can squeeze out of their harness out of excitement or nervousness, or just wanting to be playful with their new friends or old friends, they can get out of that. Now, the danger with that is, and I tell this to everyone to try to convince everyone to, choose a good harness and make sure it fits well. I don't force people to use certain accessories. However, I may end up switching that. I may require harnesses rather than collars in the future. But if your dog can slip out, that means if we ever have some kind of emergency that I need to fix while we're driving, and I have to pull off on the shoulder of the road or something, if I then open the door and I don't know that your dog has slipped out of their poor fitting harness, they could jump out of the car. That's extremely dangerous. So having whatever they're wearing be secure and reliable, super important. And so I really recommend, don't just order something online. Go to Mud Bay or one of the local shops and get your dog fitted. Make sure it fits them properly. The biggest problem that I see with harnesses is that they're too small. For whatever reason, it seems that measurements that people take, which correspond to the measurements on the item's description, seems to not be quite right many times, where people assume the dog is smaller than they are. For example, my dog Raven, she's a 50-pound dog. pretty thin build, muscular, and she wears a large, extra large in rough wear, the rough wear flag line. And by the way, that's the harness that I recommend most. The reason is because it has 3 attachment points, the last one being under the rib cage. And if it's under the rib cage, you know, they can't get out of it. It's like if something was attached to the wrist rather than the hand, it goes to the narrowest part of the waist, and so they can't pull out. So that harness is the best, the flag line by Roughwear. But, you know, if my 50-pound dog wears a large, extra large, that probably gives you an idea of sizing. Speaking of Raven, I hear her bark right now off in the woods, chasing elk and deer. She makes a certain bark where I know that that's what she's doing. So what's next? So on the first day, the dog is bonding with me. They usually stay closer to me on the first day than other days. They're like, what is this? This is crazy. And they're learning to stay away from my feet, not get in my way. Dogs are absolutely not allowed to be in the space in front of my body. If they do, because I'm often carrying a camera, taking pictures, carrying a huge backpack, got a lot of gear going on, they will literally get a knee in their butt, or I will have to tap them with my foot to sweep them out of my way. And they learn pretty quickly that's not allowed. So if you are hiking with your dog, or doing neighborhood walks even, please just make sure they're not allowed to be in your foot space. If they're behind me and stepping on my toes, I have a good little move that I end up doing, again, because my hands are usually busy. I'll go like this with my foot and give them a little tap that they need to give me space behind me. Dogs stepping on my heels is also a no-go, not allowed. I also start training them with this command where I say, go ahead, go ahead. If they are right near my body, anywhere around, even on the sides, I do the hand motion, I say, go ahead, go ahead. And if they're right in front of me, where like it is inevitable that I'm gonna collide with them, you know, because maybe I'm on a steep slope or going down a boulder field or something like that, I'll say move in a very serious way. I mean, this is really an issue of safety and well-being. If I got hurt out here, that's a major, major problem. So, you know, this stuff, when you're training a regular domestic dog, you know, you could be a lot nicer and a lot more, you know, like take your time and be patient. You've got only one dog to worry about. But when you're training an adventure dog in a pack, out in the conditions that, you know, are more unstable, unsafe, it becomes a really serious matter. So I say move, and they know, like, get out of my way. If you don't move, like, I might fall on you. And luckily that really doesn't happen because I train them pretty hardcore in the first couple weeks to learn these things. So that's one command. Another one that they're learning in the first couple weeks is this way. So that one, you can see everyone came running. Good dogs. All right, so now I'll turn directions. I don't want to fake them out. This way means good job, guys. Here they come again. Good job. That means I'm gonna turn at an intersection or turn off onto a small trail or something. I'm changing direction and you need to come with me. Now, this works way, way, way better than saying come. Because why the heck would they wanna come to that? Like, it's really boring. It's not interesting to dogs. They're way more excited to do the this way command. I won't say it the way I say it, but the this way command, because it's something, we're gonna do something cool now. We're gonna go somewhere new. So they're really, really responsive. That's a great one for you to use with your dogs when you're out and about. Certainly to keep working on with them in conjunction with the adventures. And what else? Of course they are, So here's a good example. If a dog is in front of me going down this, you know, that's definitely a problem. So they know I'll say, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, guys. Go ahead. I might need to stop filming for this one, but, or go a different way. I'll go a different way. This way. What was I saying? Oh, they're socializing with their friends. They're getting to know all their new buddies. And I'm watching how they interact with everyone, making sure that it's a compatible fit in the pack, making sure that the energy of the pack overall is healthy and good, that it's not too crazy and anxiety filled, maybe with dogs that have a ton of energy. If there's an imbalance of energy in the pack, I might suggest a different day for your dog, or if your dog maybe influences others in that pack to do behaviors that are not great, you know, I'm watching out for that. Oh wow, that's a huge elk foot right there. If you can see that, that is one big hoof print. And so, you know, I'm just looking at how they're getting along with everyone and the pack dynamics. Of course, the most important thing to me is maintaining the integrity of my packs. All right, I'm going down a slippery thing here. Whoa. Okay. And so the first few weeks will really determine that. So by the third week, the new dog should really be integrated. The pack has accepted them. The pack has said, you know, we're not gonna like bully you or anything or test you. You're accepted, you're in, you're part of our group. And the dog will probably exhibit